Hey guys, so we're on our big trip going through Michigan, and Adam Deuling invited us to stop by and visit him and see his shop. And I've been following Adam for a couple of years now, I believe, on Instagram.
Yep.
And been following his work. He gets into a lot of sheet metal fabrication and general welding and fabrication. Yep. So anyway, we're here at his shop. He's giving us a little tour. He said, "Bring the camera in, and we'll walk around and do a little shop tour."
Yeah. Perfect.
I don't know. Tell them a little bit about yourself for those that don't know who you are.
I'm Adam Deuling. I'm 31 years old. I think I'm 31 now. I got my dog here who's obsessed with ball.
Yep. Oh, the other way. Yep.
I am a former product design engineer, specialized in sheet metal design in the like deli case world.
Okay.
So I have a background in that as an engineer there, and then I've always done the off-road fabrication for the sand dunes out here.
I heard about that.
Yep.
Other people were telling me.
Yep. So I had always done the fab side, on my own stuff, and then I was an engineer. I have an associate's in CAD that I got from the local community college.
That is great.
That got me into where I was, into a drafting position. They threw me up into an engineering position fairly soon after that. And so I got both sides from the fab world, the off-road stuff, to then the actual engineering, the manufacturing processes and all that. And so now I can kind of do it all from, I do the CAD. I've got a little office up in the corner there with my computer, and I got SolidWorks and stuff on in there. So I draw it, I come out here, we can cut it on the fast cut plasma table. I'll cut the parts out, and then we've got a little grinding station over there. Come over here, clean the stuff up, and then it goes to the next you kind of got it like streamlined, I guess. And then if it gets bent, we go over to the Tommy Industrial press brake, and I've got that all tooled up. I think I got some blanks. We could, if you wanted to fire that up, we could bend some stuff.
Oh yeah, you can certainly show off the machine there. So this is a Tommy Industrial CNC press brake.
Yep.
And I think we forgot to say where you're located at.
Oh yeah, Muskegon, Michigan.
Yeah, I was going to say that and I totally forgot.
Right. So Michigan's a hand, Detroit's over here.
Yep.
We're right over here, kind of on the pinky knuckle, right next to Lake Michigan.
Yeah, we're actually staying in Grand Haven, which was a 30-minute drive south to get up here.
Yep.
And it's a beautiful area.
Yeah, we've got have you seen the lake yet? Much of the lake?
Oh yeah, we're camped right next to the lake.
Oh, perfect.
It sounded like the Gulf of Mexico this morning.
Oh yeah.
Because it is windy and rainy, and I was like, this sounds
it
like we're on the
was 80
beach.
degrees last weekend. I was like, man, if you guys would have made it up last weekend, you'd have thought you were in like California. We were at the beach. We had him at the beach playing ball. It was beautiful. And then I looked at the weather when we were talking about places to eat, and I was like, man, it's going to be like 45, 50 and rainy. Great.
Yep. So unfortunately, the rain's kind of moved in this weekend, but it's all right.
Yep.
Let me see if I can get up here. I'm soaking wet now.
Yeah. My nose is running.
We'll just do it up here.
This is crazy.
We're enjoying coming and visiting and seeing your machinery and your shop. Adam posts a lot of stuff on his Instagram page, so definitely give him a follow. A lot of your products, like you got these aluminum shelves right here that you cut and bend.
Yep. I do a lot of. I don't have a ton of example parts here. I've just got random things. Here's this is a nice part I just did. I had laser cut and then had these anodized, and then I scribed them on the fast cut plasma table. That plasma table is accurate enough to do scribing that small.
I didn't realize it did it, so it's like an engraving feature.
Yep. So yeah, and then I make jigs also on the fast cut over there. So I made this jig to mount those plates on because I had a bunch of boxes to do.
Yeah.
So then I did a practice run on here. Put
so
these
this
studs
is a
in.
fixture
Yep.
for the
I
finish.
stuffed that over in there. So from that we go there, and then this part didn't get bent, but a lot of the parts will get bent. Then we'll come over here, we'll fire this thing up.
Okay.
Put some bends in. Here, I'll turn her on. Yeah. Let's see.
You're just gonna do a little sample piece?
Yeah, how about,
Okay.
does that work?
Yep.
Throw that in there.
Seems like a really sweet machine you
Here,
got here.
let me throw some safety glasses on.
Alrighty.
You want a pair?
Sure. You can see he's got a lot of dies over here. He's got a lot of money invested in all the tooling for his press brake. There we go.
Yeah. Here, so you'll have your you've got your X, which is your back gauge. I don't know if you saw that. You can program that back gauge, and these fingers will come in to where you want it. You can set your part up against that.
Okay.
And it'll just come down.
Effortless.
Quarter-inch steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like those parts over there on that cart.
What did you say the tonnage of this press brake was?
This machine here is a 33 ton. They've got them in 45 tons. They've got them, you can get great big monsters, 400 tons, all kinds of different sizes.
Gotcha.
So,
just for the viewers, so they can kind of get an idea of, of the size machine that you have and that you run.
Yep, so this is a 5 foot wide machine, rated at 33 ton. I think it's putting out a little more than that, which is nice. I bent about 4 foot of 3/16 the other day, so that would have equated to more about 44 tons. So I think this thing's actually putting out a little more, which is nice. It's been a really good machine. It really changed what I could offer to customers. I did a big sign run of those last year. They're kind of part bead rolled and then bent up.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of a fun. Yep. So yeah, there's actually 8 separate bead rolls there.
And then you put the.
Yep, and then I put the bends in them.
Yep.
I did that as kind of a fundraiser project.
Those are cool.
Thank you.
I think Kevin's getting. He is standing behind us, wanting the ball to be thrown.
I'll put that back down. Turn the noise off.
Okay. Seems like a sweet machine.
But yeah, and it's programmable. You can put 40. I think you can put 40 programs in it with up to 25 bends. So I could have a part with, say these have they have 5 bends in them, these shelves, and there's 3 different setups. So I can have all those that'll go through bend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then part, and then the back edge moves back to bend 1, and you come up and bend over and over. I've got a YouTube video on making the shelves, and it really dives into the program mode of the controller.
Okay,
so,
I'm gonna have to check that out. That's pretty cool. I like the
the
capability that it gives you.
Yep,
there.
it's a good machine. It's pretty affordable, and it's been very repeatable, which is the 3 I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
It is not a complete CNC. CNC would be coming out computer control at the machine. This is a programmable NC it's a programmable X and a programmable Y.
Okay.
And then it can store 40 programs with presets. So you're doing it all here as opposed to, I would assume on your CNC stuff, you can probably do some stuff at the computer beforehand. So.
Yep. All right, let me do this. Begging for the ball. We need a little bit of screen time with Kevin.
Yep.
Abby's here too. She's out in the truck, and she's been in here for a while throwing the ball. He does not.
No, he doesn't stop.
He doesn't
never stop.
Look
nope.
at him.
That's my bud.
All right.
He's the real boss man.
That's awesome. Awesome to have a good shop dog.
Yep.
And I know he goes on all of your adventures with you.
Yep. I try and take him everywhere with me.
Yep.
He's been to the western side of Montana, and then all the way to the ocean in New Jersey in the past year.
Oh, really?
So yep, he's seen most of the country east to west in the last year, which has been pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yep, he lived with me in a car for like 2.5 weeks.
And does he like traveling
October.
and seeing new places?
Yeah, he loves it. People see him riding around with me, and they laugh because he sits up like a human. He like sits in the chair and sits up like he's watching where we're going. It's great.
I love it. Everybody, I think he's going to be the star of the video right
Oh
here,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Kevin is. People follow me for Kevin.
Yeah,
that's the real reason. Nobody wants to see all these brackets. Really, they just want to see Kevin.
Well, that's funny. So you got you got a jib crane in here.
Yep. Yeah, that was an old Lift Tech one that Brett had put in here back in the day when the Lift Tech closed down.
Is that an old iron worker right here that
Yep,
I'm
that's
looking at?
a Mubia 21 ton. I bought this a couple years ago. I have to get it rewired because it's like 480 three-phase.
Yep.
And I've had a few guys look at it to figure out how to wire it, but you know when you break into most motors, it'll say, run this wire here for this.
Yeah.
All that info's gone.
Okay.
So I don't know what to wire to what. Because I could run it, I have a phase converter in the back of this.
Oh yeah, American Rotary.
Yep, and this thing has been awesome. So I've got this phase converter in here, and I stuffed it in here real nice so it wouldn't be on the wall or getting hit. And it's out of the way of anything I'm bending. And
That's a nice setup.
This was probably one of the nicest things I've ever purchased. I just bought it, and it came, and it's got instructions that are like triple thick paper, color instructions like hook pink to purple and this to this if you want 220, hook it to this if you want this one. And it was just bing bang boom. I had never wired a house outlet, and I went through this thing nice and slow. It was right at the beginning of COVID lockdown.
Okay.
So I had to go wait at Home Depot. I just bought a press brake, just bought this, had all this money sunk into this, and I'm having to wait outside Home Depot to get the wire.
Oh man.
So I came in here and I did it nice and slow because the whole world was shut down, and I just sat here and I wired it and I turned it on and it fired right up and it was perfect.
Well, there you go.
It's
American Rotary.
Yeah. And I called them and I got the specs. I told them what I was buying, and they put this in. It's a surge protection setup for the CNC software units.
Yep.
So if I ever have, this place gets hit, that thing should protect the machine. So
Okay.
yeah, it was a really nice setup and a nice way to do it, and ran conduit and did it all nice, and
looks good.
I'm really happy with it. And,
very cool.
So yeah, I would like to get that wired up one of these days because that thing would be cool.
I did notice he's got a couple of Reelcraft reels over there. We just did a tour at this factory just a couple days ago. So we got the Reelcraft.
Yeah, those things are cool.
Yeah. So, but this is his workshop. This is a customer project. He told me he's been working on redoing the sheet metal, and he's modifying the roll cage. He had to cut some bars off and redo it. Somebody else had already done this, and you're kind of modifying it.
Yep, just making a few tweaks that the customer didn't like, this bar here, that bar there, and just kind of gonna reskin the whole thing.
Right.
So,
okay.
I've got a whole stack of aluminum in that back corner behind that piece of cardboard, just ready to go, 4 by 10 sheets. So once I get the frame to how he wants it and move a few more bars and tweak a few more things, I'll start tinning this. So this will all get covered. This will all get covered in tin, and all the panels will be bead rolled. You can kind of see like back there, like I have those scoops up there.
Yeah, right there.
So I'll do the bead rolling, some kind of fun lines and bead rolls on there. I do a lot of bead rolling,
That
So you
and
go to
speaking
that.
of bead rolling, do you have anything here that you can show off?
I
your
do.
skills
I
for
do.
bead rolling.
Well, I made this for you the
Oh, look
other
at
day.
that! Oh man, I forgot all about that. he had asked for my file a couple months ago, and look at that. That is wicked, man.
So that's on anodized aluminum. I scribed it on the fast cut plasma with the easy scriber, and then came over here, and then I'll put a video up. I've been putting the bead rolling ones up as shorts on my YouTube.
Okay.
Because then I can make a Instagram video
Yeah.
and a YouTube video, and I
you
kind
go.
of turn the camera both ways.
Well, don't forget you can do the shorts on YouTube as well.
YouTube. Yeah, so I've been throwing those up there because it's I've got the whole video filmed of doing that. So yeah, it's actually done with these two dies right here on this machine. That's all I use.
I mean, I just find it amazing how detailed the bead rolling can be.
Yep.
How accurate you are with being within these lines. This is I know this takes a lot of skill, and it's something that you probably have to practice quite a bit.
Yeah, I've probably, well, you can see how much I've worn the threads down on that.
Oh, okay.
Over the years. They sent me a bung to weld in to replace that. They make a bung now that's removable.
Yeah.
So you weld the outer bung in, and then the internal one has a thread, so
Yeah.
you can avoid this.
Okay.
I still have it because I kind of want to blow it out on my own because it'd be kind of fun. But man, I have to have spent 4,000 hours by now bent over this thing. You're just swinging it, and I could grab a piece of scrap or something. We could.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We could do a little bit on.
And I like how
you can kind of see it on the back side what the actual indentation looks like.
And you've got your logo.
Yep, and I stamped
engraved.
that. I've got actually that's a hand stamp with a hammer.
Okay.
Come over and hit that, and I kind of put that in the bottom right corner of all of these that I make.
Well, we will make a frame for this guy right here.
Yeah, I was thinking.
And, put it up in the new shop.
Yeah.
How about that?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right.
I wish I'd have made it a hair bigger, but I had this nice little piece of material left, that pre-anodized aluminum. So I thought we'd use that on there. I really like this stuff.
That's great, man. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
That is totally cool.
Glad you dig it. Here, I'll
Go ahead.
wire this thing up.
I'll move it over here.
All right.
While he's finding a piece of scrap, he's got some of the Fireball tool fixture plate, the welding table fixtures over here. These are the cast iron. He loves Jason and all of the tools at Fireball. So he's got his squares and his clamps. And
Yeah, that thing has been a life changer. I've brought it to Detroit twice in the last 2 months on emergency welding jobs, and I just bring all that stuff. I set it up on my tailgate, and I've got a vise that's, you can pull that vise out of there and move it up and down. And I've gone twice, and it's paid itself off tenfold by now on those
what are you
jobs.
doing? What are you going to Detroit to do?
I work with a company that does a lot of autonomous and EV conversions on vehicles.
Okay.
And that's about all I can talk about as far as details.
Okay.
But that's my main business is that industry. Is they're taking vehicles for companies, and they want them to either EV swap it or make it self-driving.
Yeah.
And
Oh, there it is.
and so when you do that, there are these great big projects, and like all those brackets over there, those are moving some component or holding some component, in space that wasn't there before in a vehicle.
Okay.
So that's mostly what I do for them. Is they want nice parts for these, high-end conversions. For they've done Walmart. They've done, there's vans out there doing delivery from warehouse A to warehouse B, all day long. And so it's a growing trend.
Okay.
And I've gotten into that market, and I'm making a lot of random parts for them. So
That's sweet.
I've had two times going down to weld on vehicle projects down there where it was like, hey, it's got to ship next week. We got to get this thing out of here. It's $1 million project. Can you come do this? And this thing has saved my butt both times.
Awesome.
Because I'd have just been welding on my tailgate or something, you know, and now I'm fixturing things, and I've got a cool vise all set up, and it's
Fireball.
You know, the thing spins. That vise is cool. Here, I got this thing wired up. I got a little piece of scrap over here.
All right. Is this like a torch grinding table here?
Yep. It's actually really cool little setup. Brett, the owner of the shop, he built this as his fab table, and then before I had the plasma table or anything, he built this. That guy folds down.
Okay.
It's a cool little setup.
Nice.
Brett owns a plumbing company in town here, Lasco Plumbing, so he really likes the utilization of the Unistrut. It's very versatile. He's got cool things like this will slide out for an extension or something, and he had little stands to hold things going across, and that side slides out as well.
I like the ingenuity on it.
Yeah, I didn't have any of this. I call that whole station, I call that the fab station.
Okay.
And it's just kind of grown over the years. I had just that little metal brake on the back, and then I mounted my bead roller on it, and then I got an English wheel, and then I just kind of keep adding and adding. It's got like 2,000-pound casters with these cool foot brakes.
Yep. Well, you'll have to
Wilton
show
vise
this
back here.
Show this to us. I've never actually watched anybody operate one of these. I've seen plenty of folks online or in videos. You know.
Here, I'll just draw a simple little shape.
Okay.
Rather than just going all willy-nilly.
All right.
I'll draw the circle in there too.
I know what you want. Here we go.
So a lot with bead rolling is your depths of your dies going front to back. So you set that gap and that width different for what you're doing.
Okay.
And that's a lot of that has to do, I think I mentioned when I was talking to you, I had done like 5 passes on that.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm widening that gap as I go, and that you can see how that's got that nice almost bubble to the letters.
Yeah.
It's not just like a step where if you just come down and you do a single line, it'll give more of a 45-degree angle versus that slow stretch.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different methods to bead rolling. For something like a vehicle, you might just want that structure or a floor pan. So you more want a deep, hard bead roll that gives your flat panel some structure.
Yeah.
So we're just going to come down here and put a little pressure on.
All right, so you're using the foot pedal to drive the roller.
Kevin.
We got to get Abby back in here so she can throw the ball.
Yep. And so I got into bead rolling as kind of I had built my off-road toy, my Blazer, how I kind of wanted it, and I was out here all the time, and then my project was done, and I wanted something else to do. So I started asking around, and what were some cool metal working tools. I was on an off-road forum.
Yeah, look at that.
Online, and
so that whole section is basically pushed in.
Yep,
even
it's
amount.
lifted. Yep. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I look at it. My trick is I did a really good video at Eastwood this summer. It's like a 21-minute instructional video on their YouTube.
Okay.
Of the different how-tos and stuff. But I like to say when you're doing a step die is what this setup's called. When you're raising just one side, it's going to be the bottom die is going to come up, is how I like to look at it. So that's where we're at on this.
Yeah.
And then so I want to, Kevin, you got to cut it out, bud. We're making videos.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. I know he wants to throw the ball, but we'll get back to you, buddy. Here you go. Here, let me go ahead and throw it again. He loves it.
So yeah, widen that die set out a little bit, and then we'll do another pass.
All right.
And you'll see it'll give it a little more depth. But yeah, I had gotten into bead rolling by the sheer fact that I was kind of done with my off-road project, and I love dimple dyeing all the brackets on my Blazer and the off-road stuff. Kevin, sit down. And I started asking around, and somebody brought up a bead roller, and I thought, oh, that's cool. So I ordered a bead roller, and so now you can see that's really adding some nice depth to that.
Yeah.
And we can keep going and going and going. And it's still pretty flat.
And so are you,
see how it's not all twisted?
Off the line to the outside of it?
I just was kind of winging it on the first path. Once you get your first path made, the die set kind of falls right into it because it's being pulled as, you know, this die is going to want to pull it inward. Yeah. So this die kind of now, it's going to ride in that same line pretty much over and over unless you really walk off of it.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll add a little more width.
So you're offsetting the wheel there?
Yep. Yeah, you can see how much wider we are now.
This is just like a threaded stop collar right here?
Yep, and that comes on these, this is the Mittler Brothers Jamie Jordan series bead roller, and that comes with that adjustable top collar there. You can actually buy them now with the adjustable top and bottom. So
and he's working the foot pedal down there.
Yep. So it's a lot going on. You wanna have your hand up on this so that you can avoid start and stop marks.
Oh,
you slowly bring that pressure off and get that, and then you don't get these kinks where like, oh, I started right there and I had a kink. So it's really a good practice to use one hand to spin it, one hand on here and the other, and then you got your foot running the speed.
Well, that was a great little demo there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first time that I've seen somebody do that in front of me.
Yep.
So very cool, man.
Yeah, and I'll do that. You know, I've got like these scoops and stuff up here. That's gonna go into, you know, stuff like that. You know, those beads, and it creates structure in the panels for the off-road cars and race cars and stuff like that.
It helps gives flat metal strength.
Yep. Yeah, it stops it from being all warpy and yep, gives it that structure and kind of a cool factor at the end of the day.
Well, that was a great demo. Thank you for
no problem.
sharing that. I noticed here's I don't know if this is your welder or if this is the main welder.
Yep, this is my welding setup.
Multimatic 220.
Yep, I actually bought I think this is the first one that was available to the public. It was actually supposed to be a display, and my buddy ended up getting it to me and selling it to me. I got my 220 before the Michigan Miller rep got his. Sorry, Josh.
Has it been a good machine?
Oh, it's been awesome. It does TIG, MIG, stick, AC/DC, so I can TIG aluminum, stainless, steel, whatever. It's got both bottles, so you've got a TIG bottle and a MIG bottle set up, so you're not switching back and forth all the time.
All right, and then I noticed
this is Paul at ZT Fab. This is his little tank cart kit.
Yeah, this is the kit, and you bolt it on to whatever toolbox you get.
So I got this is like the U.S. General from Harbor Freight. I know I'm going to beat these boxes up, so I didn't want to spend a fortune. And these have been actually pretty decent boxes. This is like my fourth one I've got in here now.
Yep.
So I threw that in there, and I've got all my welding supply stuff. I've got all my gas lenses from Furic and whatnot in here.
Okay. Well, this is great seeing this because this is a setup that I should consider for my new shop.
Yes.
I have not invested in welders yet.
Yep.
But I really like this idea of maybe doing the same thing you got.
I built this whole structure to house this so I could get this up and still have the top space.
Yep.
So this is all my design. Just kind of whipped it up for this.
I like the machine, the capability though. So you got your MIG welder, but you can do AC aluminum with this.
And it does aluminum really well. I'm really impressed with this machine. It's done everything for me as kind of a do-all shop. You know, I don't really do the same thing every day. Every project's different, so it's really been great. You know, if you're production MIG welding all day, production TIG welding all day, obviously you're probably going to want, you know, like a Dynasty or a Syncrowave or something.
A dedicated machine.
For a guy like me that does a little bit of everything all the time, it's been great. And I've probably, I think it holds the 11-pound spool of wire. I can't remember. I think it's the 11-pound spool or 13-pound spool, something like that.
Yeah.
I've probably gone through 5, 6 of those spools and had not a single hiccup. So yeah, I got the big tanks on it, and then Paul had the cool little
the TIG rod
holders. So yeah, I've got my steel, aluminum, stainless, and silicon bronze. Do a lot with that. So yeah, this is awesome, and it just wheels around really nice. Those great big, got those, he sends that kit with those nice like cast wheels and everything.
Yeah, that's the same ones that's on my cart, but I'm gonna think about this, consider it, you know, get me another box and just do it like you got right here.
It's really nice. When you got the project in here and I can just wheel it all the way around.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been killer.
Awesome. Well, I'm noticing a couple other. This is another one of your older press brakes.
Yep, this is my old Diacro. So I had bought this originally for everything I was doing, and it served me really well for probably 3 years in here. And then I started doing a little bit more small batch production work and starting to need to hit tighter tolerances. This thing was like an awesome machine to walk up to and do, bam, one part, you know?
Yeah.
Dial it in. Oh, I need 2 more degrees. Just keep kind of adjusting that, giving it a little more.
Yep.
When it got to the point of, hey, we need 20 of these same parts, you know, and now I'm fluctuating, you know, maybe a degree or 2 between parts. I really started looking for something newer. Just this machine's great, and I could probably have rebuilt it and done the hydraulics and gotten it to the point. But at the end of the day, it was like a 17-ton unit, brand new, and I think it's putting out 9 at this point. So instead of doing that, I invested in the Tommy, got a machine that's bigger. It does 5 foot, where this is 4 foot. So I can do a little bit bigger parts. I've got the 5-foot fast cut plasma table.
Yep.
So 5-foot parts in that, 5-foot parts in that. That's really opened a lot more doors. You know, that 4-foot mark really, you know, it
kind of
holds you. Yeah, because you can't make things 4 foot. You know, you can't make a 4-foot pan out of a 4-foot sheet of metal. You need side bends and such. So now I can actually make a 4-foot part with bends on the sides and things like that. Or, you know, most vehicles are, you know, interiors and such are under 60 inches, it seems like. So I can make a lot of, you know, dash parts or things like that. So, so yeah, getting a little bigger press brake for my normal stuff has worked great, but I keep this set up for doing a lot of press nut insert, you know, PEM nuts and PEM studs. I got this little flat die in here, and you know, the studs can go down in this hole, and I put the part in and it presses that stud in, or it's just flat here and I can put those parts in and just sit here and pop parts out.
That's great, man. So you can use this for a dedicated setup, and you've invested in your new machine that's obviously kicking butt and working really well, holding tight tolerances for repetitious parts.
Yeah, that was the old machines are super cool, but if you want to pick up something old, just know, you know, things are going to be worn, the hydraulics aren't going to be happy. This thing, you turn it on and it's cold, it'll bend 1.25 inches. Let it sit for 5 minutes and let everything warm up and the orifices warm up. It'll barely dent that part, you know? So when it's cold, it's making pressure, so you know things are worn and things aren't gonna be repeatable. So I thought, you know what? I've got to make parts. I got to get good parts out. I can't have a press breakdown while it's ripped apart and trying to find parts from a 60-year-old machine. And then what do I do when companies need me, you know? So.
Well, I think you've done great.
Yeah.
You know, these machines are great, and we love the vintage machines, but you know, you're here to make money and make parts. You're not here to rebuild machines.
Yes. Yep. And I mean, I'm getting into the point where, you know, the vehicles I'm making parts for are, you know, for some big companies, and, you know, they're out there driving themselves around and stuff. So it's like,
you got a reputation.
I want my stuff to come out and be money and make, you know, make me feel good about what I'm making and make my customer feel good about it. So
awesome.
Yep. Yeah, this thing's been great. It's done me a lot. I had this little Grizzly box and pan brake out on the back side of my fab station here. So that was my first brake. So this would do, let's see, I think it'll do 4 foot of 18 gauge mild. So it'd do like 2 foot of 16 gauge mild. Do like 1/8 inch in little brackets.
How's it work for you?
It's worked great. I made a lot of little tin parts on this. You can move it up and down. Box and pan means that the die set is not one solid piece. So when you bend something and you've got side bends on it, you can move these dies around and stick those side bends into these little gaps between the fingers.
Yep.
Most people don't realize it, but the hardest parts to make are boxes, you know, and pans. It's the most complex tooling setup on a press brake is bending those 4 bends. It takes a lot more work than people realize. So,
where's your ball? Here it is. Here's your ball.
I got a cool little anvil here. This was actually so when I was in high school, I was obsessed with shop class. My senior year, I had 9 shop classes my senior year. I was going to go to school. I went to the community college to go after a shop teacher degree, and it was 2009 when I graduated high school, and I knew it wasn't really going to happen because they shut down all the shop classes and stuff. So I changed my major to a CAD degree. I got a CAD degree, and but I was obsessed with shop classes, always teaching it. And last year, a guy got a hold of me, and this is actually the anvil out of my shop class.
Oh, really?
Yep, he got.
That is awesome, man.
So yeah, this was the anvil out of Fremont, Michigan's shop class. It's a Vulcan. I don't remember what year.
Okay.
It's a
Looks
Vulcan.
like around 120, 150
I can't
pounds
remember.
or so.
I had the specs on it at one time. It was pretty beat because it was used in a shop class, but it was kind of cool to have that. Yeah, I got out of high school and did that and got my CAD degree, and I actually plan to kind of come back and do classes on my own terms. That hard work sign you were looking at.
Yeah.
Actually, I did a kind of a fundraiser with those last year to raise funds towards starting a kind of a shop class program that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get kids involved.
That's great.
More in like the middle school, early high school stages, you know, where those shop classes came. Because you've got the vocational schools now, which are great for those, you know, late high school kids. But I think it's a real bummer that you don't have the shop class in the earlier years now. You know, the kids aren't walking down the hallway and seeing sparks and wood chips and stuff. And I think that was what drew me in, was literally walking by. So I've done a few school visits now. I take the bead roller with me. I do a cool little manufacturing video where I show some parts being drawn, cut, powder coated, and they're holding them in their hand while they're watching it.
Yeah.
And you can just see light bulbs turn on. So my eventual goal, once I kind of get my world taken care of and my business and everything kind of on track, is build a school based on sheet metal manufacturing and take kids through the whole process and give them an idea of what's out there, and maybe they then chase these careers.
That's fantastic, and
Yep.
like you were talking about, hit them when they're young to kind of spark an interest.
Yep.
Because, I think people are doing a better job these days of trying to bring awareness to the trades. Mm-hmm. But I think folks like yourself is really going to help that,
Yep.
if they can see that spark when they're in middle school or high school.
Yep.
And then they're aware, like, hey, we can go do something in the trade skills,
Yeah.
in metal manufacturing, sheet
Yep.
metal work, or welding, or
Yep.
machining.
Because everything around you is made like that.
Yeah.
I give these kids that video, and I try after we're done. They're watching. I made these French curves, which is a drafting tool, and these kids are holding them, watching this video, and as they're watching the video, they're holding the French curve up to the screen, and they're like, "Oh wow,
Yep.
that's really cool." And one girl yelled out, "I thought these were plastic," when I passed them out before the video, because they're
Yeah.
powder coated all red.
Yeah.
And so you could just see the light bulbs turning on as they're watching, holding it. And I was like, all right, now think about the chairs you're sitting in, Hey, next time you go to the store with your parents, and you're getting clothes off the shelf, look at the shelf,
Yeah.
Look at the things that are all around you everywhere, the table you're at, the pencil you're holding, the pen you're holding. It's all made like this. It's drawn, it's designed, it's manufactured, it's cut, it's bent, it's welded, it's plastic injected, yada, yada, yada. And then it comes to the consumer. It's like
That's right.
Everything in your whole world is made this way.
I have always tried to explain my world to folks like that as well.
Yeah.
Like people that, the folks that are not understanding of what machining is or
Yep.
what it does, I'll just try to say things like, okay, your car, for example,
Mm-hmm.
that engine that's in your car, it's got to be machined.
Yep.
It doesn't come out of machine just ready to go. Somebody has to build all those parts,
Yep.
or the spindles, or the wheels, or the axles. All that stuff is fabricated. Everything is fabricated and machined.
Yep, everything around. It's a little intimidating when you really start breaking it down, and you're like, this little part has a die set made to stamp just that little part. Think of how much time went into that little thing. And that's one component of this, and then every bottle has these, and there's 400 different brands, and you're like,
That's right.
It's a little mind-boggling at the end of the day. Yeah, so I love that, and what I do on Instagram and Facebook and stuff is with my stories. I really like showing the process. I'll go sit in the CAD dungeon and draw the thing, and then I'll come out to the fast cut and I'll program it and I'll cut it and I'll bring it over. If you watch my stories on Instagram, it'll be draw, cut, bend, weld, powder coat, put it in a box, ship it out the door. And that is manufacturing, and I really enjoy the process of manufacturing. I think from being involved on the engineering side, and being involved in that, learn that stuff.
I think it's fantastic that you share that journey there too.
Yeah, and
tell them where they can find you on Instagram. What is your?
So my Instagram is A Deuling, Deuling. My Facebook page would be Deuling Design. YouTube would just be Adam Deuling. I shouldn't have used my last name because it's spelled D-E-U and everything autocorrects it to D-U-E. So bad business choice using my last name for everything because people can never find me. But
well, we'll get you plugged in the video and have the links there that everybody can click on.
Cool,
and,
I appreciate it.
And go and check you out.
Yeah, and I can send you links to the machines and stuff if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been cool to be a part of, I've been working with Fast Cut, I've been working with Tommy, we're working with Eastwood, and it's been cool to work with these companies. And
that's fantastic.
They're getting me involved with, a lot better shows and people, and it's cool to see where it's growing. So I'm excited to see where this next year takes us. Kevin.
Well, we're going to be here following the journey, and I always enjoy seeing your work and your projects. And I hope some more folks will start following you and
thanks, man.
Watching what you do. The whole educational program that you're interested in is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get that YouTube stuff going again, more normal. I had all my stuff stolen not too long ago.
That's
so
a total bummer.
I kind of got real ambitious about making the YouTube channel and had a few really nice videos made up and got those posted, and then, man, you lose all your stuff and lose all your software and then the computer and the camera, and I was like, kind of got burnt out on it. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back to that stuff.
That's a big investment that you lost there because of someone else's need to take your things that you worked hard to buy.
Yeah, yep.
Well, I've really enjoyed the tour of the shop. I think we missed these guys, but you got some Eastwood.
Oh yeah, I've got the little Eastwood, the mini lathe, and then the mini mill. I use that a lot for cleaning up things. You know, I have to. These parts have to have a 6mm PEM stud pressed in, so I clean those up with a 6mm reamer and make those real nice. You know, clearance holes can just come right off the plasma table and they're fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use these just for kind of tweaking, making little spacers and stuff. And yeah, those parts will probably be going in some scary robot car that doesn't have a driver in it or something. I don't know. They don't really give me specifics anymore. They just ask me to make parts, so.
Well, yeah, like I said, man, this has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed seeing your shop.
Did you check out my chair? A lot of people get a
Yeah, I saw that when I came in. I didn't. That's pretty cool.
I used to have
this is the dimple dies.
Yep, I have an obsession with the dimple dies, and this is actually the first project I made with my first plasma table.
Oh yeah.
I laid this thing out and cut it and dimpled it, and I had this chair frame. I've gotten flack over the years for not making a cool frame, but they say like the mechanic never gets to work on his own car, and this was one of the only things I've ever actually made for myself was this chair. There's very few things I've gotten to make for myself with my machines. So.
All right. Well, we had camera difficulties there for a second, but I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up our little shop tour here at Adam's shop. So thanks for inviting us up to visit you.
Yeah, no problem.
And having I asked him, could we bring the camera and let our viewers check you out? So be sure to give him a follow over on Instagram and check him out on YouTube. He said he's going to eventually start getting some videos put up.
Yeah, but I'll get that going again here. I promise. I got a few good ones on the press brake. I want to get some good ones on this guy.
Yep.
I've really got these machines dialed in as like a perfect pair. So
that's awesome.
I want to show everybody what they can do if they want to get into this stuff. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for coming, and sorry, Kevin's a nut.
Yeah, he's just being a dog, though. He wants to play, but he's a great shop dog.
Oh yeah, he's grown up out here. Yep, 4 years. He's spent more time in the shop than anybody else.
There we go. All right, it's been fun meeting him too, but it's been great hanging out with you.
Yeah, thanks for swinging by.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna head back into town and. Keep enjoying our little trip here. We got a little bit further north to go. We're going to be checking out Michigan, man. It's my first time here in Michigan.
Awesome.
It's been beautiful.
Have to hit up maybe the Sand Dune area or Ludington or
We're going to go up and see the Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, M22 is my favorite drive.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that drive. So we've got quite a few things highlighted that we're going to do. So we're going to go up and just kind of like do a little tour through.
Perfect.
Tour through
it's
Michigan.
Beautiful up there.
Yeah, we're getting at a good time.
You're getting right here is right where about starts getting nice. South of here, it's pretty much flat and boring, you know. And then you get a little north of here and things start getting rolly and pretty and
That's good to know.
Cool.
We're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, really enjoyed it. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for stopping out, man.
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed and be sure to check them out. We will see you guys later.